What's that word? What's that word, family? Hey, man, check it out, check it out, check it out. Ears to the streets, ears to the goddamn streets, man. They on the concrete, man. I'm out here looking for the freshest, dopest, hardest artists that's out here across the whole America, man. I'm the host of the show, Low from the Go. We got a special guest in the building today. So right now, I just want him to come in, tell him who you are and what you do, my brother.
Hey, man, what up, everybody? It's your man, MD The Life. Make sure y'all add and follow on all social media and stream that music. I'm an artist, entrepreneur, you feel what I'm saying? Producer, CEO, WB, Galaxy Records, stand up. We're in the building, Pontiac, Michigan.
Pontiac, Michigan, man. So you know what I'm saying? Pontiac, Michigan. When I hear the name Pontiac, Michigan, I think of a ghetto, man. How was it for you growing up in Pontiac, Michigan?
Man, to be for real, it's kind of weird, man, because it's borderline both. Like, we're a small ass city. We probably in the top 5 smallest cities, maybe in the United States, for real. It's ghetto as fuck. We like 25 minutes outside of Detroit, for real. So you know how the D get. But what's crazy about Pontiac, we are in the second richest county in the United States. We surrounded by nothing but money. But us, poverty like a motherfucker, man. We got one high school in this motherfucker. 15 years ago, we had 3, 4 of them bitches. You feel what I'm saying? It's crazy, man.
Damn, y'all went from 3 high schools to 1? So everybody in the whole town got to go to the same high school?
Go to the same high school. Like, back when I was in high school doing my thing, you know, you had the north and east side at one, the south and west at one, so you had little rivalries and shit, little beef. You know how cities do. Now you got everybody in one, man. Shit crazy, man. Literally, within the past 5 days, man, I think we done had 4 killings. You feel what I'm saying? It's crazy out here, man.
I was just gonna go to that. By them closing down the schools and bringing everybody together from different like neighborhoods. That can bring like a boiling point. That can go to a boiling point where I can imagine the violence going on in that school nowadays. And we sit back. They doing the same thing in Chicago. We sit back and we wonder why the hell is these kids killing each other? It's because they going from different neighborhoods. You know what I'm saying? It's just weird to me, man. You know, that shit crazy, bro.
Yeah, it's real hectic, man. But shouts out to my parents, man, and my family, because I gotta be real. I can't lie. We live doing our thing. Personally, man, I went to private school my whole life. You see what I'm saying? So I was blessed. Outside of private school, you see what I'm saying? I still grew up in this little hole, as we call it. You feel what I'm saying? Yaktown. So, but my education surpasses most. So I won't act like I was in that society. Now, granted, you know what I mean? A nigga skip school a lot. Go pick up some of the chicks. You know what I mean? Run up there, handle my business, jump in some of the squabbles, all that kind of shit. But I was really kind of out the range of all of that. You know what I mean?
So you grew up with both parents?
Yeah, I grew up with both parents in my household, man. I had a great household, actually. I had both parents, man, all my grandmas. To be honest, man, I can't complain about my childhood. My childhood was not rough whatsoever, man. All the decisions I made growing up as far as street shit and being involved in activity, it was all personal choice, man, to be for real. Schooling was boring, you know how it is. And back in the 90s, man, the streets was exciting. So that's what drew my attention. You know what I'm saying? I went on the run for like 17 years, man. I was on the runs from 1999 up until about 2 years ago, man.
Could you tell us a little bit about that situation?
Long story short, man, I was here, and like I said, I was a private school kid, so the streets were very alluring. I fucked around, got into some shit, man. By the time I was 17, man, I had cases up the ass, minor shit. But 17 turning 18, I'd end up catching 2 felonies. And they was threatening to charge me as adults on both of them because of my past record. One of them was manufacturing, attempt to deliver all this kind of shit, like 14 pounds, some dumb shit. I ended up violating being on probation, and they ended up raiding my auntie house. Crazy story, man. I pulled up during the middle of the raid, seeing what's going on, pulled up in the driveway, talked to the police, yo. They told me they was looking for me.
Wow.
Yo, I pulled the fuck up out that motherfucker, pulled up out, man. I left my state so quick, fam. That day, I jumped on a plane, hit Atlanta, and never looked back. You know what I'm saying? It was crazy. So, shouts out to the A, man.
Shouts out to the A. So you hit Atlanta. Yeah. What's going on once you hit Atlanta?
Oh yeah, shouts out to the A, man. There was a lot of love out there, man. West End, Down there, I learned about, paying for the weekly rooms and all of that shit, because nigga was too young to get an apartment or something. So what I did was I started just paying for the little weekly rooms down there off Piedmont and Buford Highway in the A. And stayed in them bitches until I turned 18 and was old enough to get my own apartment with a little chick from Chicago. Shouts out to her. What up, lady?
So you went on the run with a female?
Oh yeah, man, literally. Shorty from Chicago, Southside, 51st Winchester, you know what I mean, in the building. Shorty was on the run with me for 11 years, man. We ran around the world, different strip clubs, started in Atlanta, hit California, Texas, and well, I tell niggas all the time, if you know anything about the stripping gang, if you really were involved, it's kind of like being on a block. Anything else, you burn up, you get hot. So chicks that's really getting money, they move around, man. They don't sit in one spot. So kind of me being on the run and her moving like she was moving kind of coincided anyway. And me being in the street, nigga, shit, making extra money was never an issue. You know what I'm saying?
So you went down there and became a pimp, huh?
Hey, look. Look, all bullshit aside, man, for real, like, shouts out to Shorty though, me being so young, and she was, like, we was the same exact age when we linked up. We was 18, you know what I'm saying? But she was involved with a lot of niggas, man, from Chicago to Cali, San Diego, that was a lot bigger than anything that I had ever seen in the game in real life. So Shorty taught me a lot, man. Like, still to this day, she fucks with a nigga, you know what I'm saying? So, and shouts out to her, man. She do her youth counseling shit on Facebook, man. Y'all look at that. Shorty was real. Everything that we ever did, she put it in her name. And me personally, like I said, man, like my first time I even got a job, fam, in real life, that I had a real employed job was probably like 2014, 15. You see what I'm saying? Like, we ran around the world just on some getting money shit, man. We lived in San Diego, Cali for 11 years. Like, shit was crazy, man. We got it in. You know what I'm
So how did you go from Atlanta to another place?
Well, long story short, doing our thing in Atlanta, me being the young hothead, thinking I'm the shit artist that I am and mad that I'm on the run and couldn't really, show my skills and shit. I was bumping shoulders with a lot of people in the A that was showing me love. I had met little Zane at the time. It was funny because his chick was kind of feeling the nigga, you see what I'm saying? So it was some bullshit going between the two parties, and he ended up not wanting to fuck with me on some music shit. Shouts out to Lil Zane anyway. That was back when he was fucking with 112 and all of that. But anyway, nigga fucked around and got in some legal trouble in the A. And shit got to where niggas was, popping pistols and doing all kind of other shit. And me being not from there and my gang being so small, Shorty was like, nigga, fuck that shit. Let's just go ahead, move and do Cali. Shit, I need a new spot anyway. Strip club game here for me getting burnt out. You see what I'm saying? Like, anytime she was in the club too long, niggas get to asking. When you a new booty in the club, it's like niggas spend money with you just because they want to know if you go. But once niggas find out you ain't going as a woman in the strip club, it turns into they ain't gonna spend no more money. So she had got to that point in most of the clubs around there anyway. So we decided to go ahead and take the full show to another state. You know what I'm saying?
So how did y'all get to Cali? Y'all drove, flew?
The first time we went to Cali, actually, man, we took a bus, 3.5 day trip, man.
3.5 day trip. What was that trip like, man?
Hey, funny story about that trip too, man. Real 100, crazy shit. I met a nigga on there, blood nigga. No, I don't bang, man. The only colors I see is green and white, my nigga. But long story short, I met a blood nigga on this bus, man. And on this bus with my man, I fucked around and had the biggest come up. The first day I sat in Cali, man, I touched the most cash in one move I've ever touched, man. 10 bands, man. So shouts out to fam. Shouts out to my nigga Boo. You know what it is.
So you make it to Cali, you start hanging out with the blood guy.
100.
All right.
Still to this day, he my man.
And y'all started going back to the strip club?
Yeah, I mean, Shorty was already, like, when I met her in the A, she was in Cali. Like, her family, she's from Chicago, but she moved to Cali like at 14, 15 or something like that. Some parts of Cali, you can start stripping young. So she'd been stripping since she was like 16. When I met her in Atlanta, she was coming back and forth to Atlanta with the rap nigga. See, a lot of people don't know, it was a rapper named Tiger. And y'all can Google this, look it up. He was signed to Jermaine Dupri, So Def. Shorty used to fuck with Tiger. But me and her met one night outside of the club because the nigga had some people out there passing out flyers and shit like that, little groupie niggas. And he, let them get in the club and hang in his VIP session. So long story short, I'm out there with a couple cats in the A I know. But my ego too big. Nigga, I ain't passing out no flyers or nothing. Get the fuck out of here. I'm calling my cab about to bounce this. I ain't doing this shit to get no club with no rap, nigga. Shorty and some chicks standing outside. This how we end up meeting. She come over and tell a nigga, you feel what I'm saying? Yo, I should wait, blah, 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 blah. I end up leaving. She asked my number. She ended up calling me back and forth. So before she went back home to Cali in the A fucking with my man, she came to see me a couple times. She went to Cali. We talked back and forth from Cali for probably about 5, 6, 7 months. She came to visit Atlanta to see me, never went back home to Cali. So me and Atlanta became her new home in life. She was from, her origins was at Cali. Her mom was already there. Her sister, shouts out to Miss Harris. You know what it is. All that good shit, man. So when we went to Cali, we had, moms and all them people already there.
Right, y'all had a resource. You had a place to stay. You ain't have to really worry about it. You just had to continue to get the money.
Yeah. We laid our head with moms for a couple of weeks till we got our apartment, all that good shit. You know what I mean? Shouts out to them. I appreciate that. And they knew my situation. Like the whole time I was dealing with their daughter. Again, shouts out to Chicago, man. Real people in the chat. They ain't treat me no different. You see what I'm saying? Like, she always thought highly of me as a dude.
Right, stand up, huh? All right. So y'all get y'all own apartment out there way in California. Now you living life. Now what's going on?
Man, shit, life beautiful. My first time on the West Coast. You see what I'm saying? Shorty stripping. I'm doing what I'm doing in and out the club because we work kind of the same out. She hit the club, I hit the club type thing. You see what I'm saying? So anybody that know what it is what it is from there. You see what I'm saying? But Cali life is beautiful, man. A lot of beach walks. I learned how to surf being a nigga from the hood. Hey, look. Some of the best bud I've ever smoked. Sugar Shack, all kind of shit. The diversity in San Diego fucked me up, man. It's really no black people out there, believe it or not. Like when I was there early 2000s, I think it was like 7% black people. So I was bumping shoulders with a lot of Asians, a lot of Mexicans, man. A lot of young motherfuckers with money, though. Trust fund kids, man. I'm talking motherfuckers from Korea and China, 19, and Hummers on 22s and shit. And Pops done bought this motherfucker a $1.2 million 3-bedroom house and sent him out here to go to school type shit. So, it was nice, man. It was an experience, for real. I wouldn't trade for nothing. Even though I was on the run, it was worth it all, every minute of it. You know what I'm saying?
Let me ask you this. When you was on the run, like, you wasn't really facing, like, hella time, was you? Like, it was just like you didn't know what was going on. You just, it sounded like you just took off, like, real quick.
Yeah, to be honest, man, now that it's over with, I tell people all the time, like, because, when I was doing it, the judge was threatening with like 2 years, 2 to 5 in the pen. You see what I'm saying? At the time, I was a young nigga. I had only did county time. So I was like, fuck that shit. I'm going to run the world, chase my dream. You see what I'm saying? But no, at the time, I really didn't notice. But being out in the world and catching more cases, man, I kind of learned a little bit. I learned about extradition and all kind of other shit, man. Stupid shit. Shit you learn as a young nigga fucking up.
How was it dealing with these rich kids, man? How was it when you trying to deal with them being from where you from? I know they was interested in you, bro.
I'm going to be honest, bro. For real, I fit right in, to be honest. Because like I told you earlier in the interview, man, I went to private school my whole life, man. So, my graduating class, you feel what I'm saying? We only had, I think if I'm correct, 6 black people. So, like, my diversity is off the chain. Like, most of my friends are white, black, like, it's a very diverse spread, for lack of a better word, man. So, I fit in perfect, man. Most of them fuck with me real heavy. I don't know how to explain it, but they say, like, Asians, Chinese, white people, they all got their token black nigga they like to fuck with. If they had a token black nigga, I'd probably be the number 1 choice in the world. Educated, but hood is fuck for real. So the love is astronomical.
So did you hit any licks fucking with these rich kids?
Yeah, like I said, man, shouts out to my nigga Buddha, all that good shit. Like, I touched my first 10 grand cash. You feel what I'm saying? My first day I set foot in Dago, fucking around with some Asians in the Bloods. You see what I'm saying? Like real nigga shit. So yeah, it was popping out there, man. They kept a nigga in the game like you wouldn't believe it. Like, yeah, and they import export shit out there, serious. So shouts out to them.
So you loving it down there in San Diego?
Man, if I never got divorced, fam, I would have never came back to Michigan. Granted, it was something that needed to be done, so I needed to handle my life so I can get to the point we at now at the center. But San Diego was so beautiful, man, and the money and life was so prosperous, fam, I would have never left. You know what I'm saying? No. Like, I would have gave up, like, I gave up on music, all that shit, like, because you can't have a music career if you can't get known. I don't give a fuck how hot you is, how charismatic you is. If you can't tell nobody I'm who this person is and or work with people or even put your name out there, it's pointless. So it came to a point, man, where I had put all that shit behind, man. I was just gonna end up pimping, hustling, and doing what niggas do for the rest of life. You see what I'm saying?
Right. How did you end up taking care of your case?
What ended up happening is, after fighting for a minute through my divorce, I didn't really want to leave Cali where I was at. I kind of wanted to, stay in my son's life. So financially, I was trying to work it out. But it ended up kind of being...
Let me get this straight real quick. So you left Michigan at 18, right? 17 to 18?
Yeah.
And you had the stripper chick. So how did the marriage part come in? In the summer?
Me and Stripper Baby ended up separating during my time on the run. And I had met my ex-wife. So during that time, me and my ex-wife was together for probably about 8 years or so. And we ended up having a son. Like I told you, I was doing a whole bunch of retarded gangster shit, man, in my mind. You see what I'm saying? So I didn't know how long of a clock I had left. So I wanted to see, like most niggas, man. So, shouts out to my baby mama, ex-wife. I thought she was the most suitable woman I had ever met to raise a kid. I expressed my thoughts about wanting a kid before life got too hectic, maybe prison and or death, you know what I'm saying? She was all for it. She thought I was a great man, thought I'd be a great father. We decided to go ahead and have a child. Just to give you this info, if you're wondering, the reason me and Stripper Baby ended up separating, at a certain point in life, man, I got tired of being on the road, just running around hustling and shit. So I was talking to her about kind of legalizing some shit and switching up the game and maybe turning myself in and doing all this other kind of shit. Long story short, some things kind of didn't work out as far as like conversations, as far as family and having kids and things of that nature. So we decided to kind of separate our ways and just be friends. Like she was gonna be my son's godmother until my ex-wife had a problem with that, so it didn't happen. So me and her are still close despite our separation.
But you crazy for that one, bro.
Yo, look, all I had in my life was them two women. Like I told niggas, one thing I learned on the run was like being a man, and dealing with the game. Like you can't really trust niggas. You see what I'm saying? Especially when niggas know you ain't from there and all this kind of shit, you get money. So I learned real young that women are a lot more loyal than niggas. Like even if it's on a friendship level. You see what I'm saying? So to be truthful, man, it's 7 women in the world right now with my logo tattooed on them, man. Galaxy Records, man. Shouts out to all of them, man. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all being there for me then and now. Gang, we back at it. But yeah, man, like I said, I ended up getting with Shorty. We decided to have my son. So I got a little boy, he be 13 in December, man. Yeah, and once me and her got divorced, I decided to come back to Michigan. So that's what brought all of that about.
All right, so you come back to Michigan. It's time to face the music. What happened?
It was funny because coming back to Michigan, man, for the first couple years here, I was still on the run. I hadn't seen my family, nobody, literally, in the 17 years I was gone. So when I first came back, I didn't turn myself in immediately. I was still laying low, man, living in my car, living in different trap houses and shit, fucking around, and because I didn't want to turn myself in and go straight to the pit. I want to spend some time with my family, my mom, my dad, my uncle, you know, cousins that I grew up. I ain't seen a little cousin since 5. I come home, a nigga taller than me, 230 pounds, talking shit now. I want to have a drink with him. So, you feel what I'm saying? When I first came home, fam, I couldn't even get straight to the music, but shouts out to my city, Pontiac, y'all know what it is. Shouts out to my man, Crack, West Side. Cuz had a house, man. Niggas made me put a studio in it. Shouts out to my little cousin, B. He supplied all the equipment. And the family made me get to work, even though I was on the run, man. We was in the crib, acting ass, man, doing what niggas do, which we should have had it solidified, but we ended up getting it raided. Shit fucked up, stupid shit, so that shut, yeah. That shut down the process and shit. My ass dipped in the D. I was in the D at the time after that happened. Going back and forth, still on the run though, laying low, fucking around and shit. I'm up here fucking around with my cousin. Man, this nigga riding on a humbug. We ended up getting pulled over by the 5-0 up here in Pontiac and shit. And you know what I mean? It was a blessing in disguise. So this is when they found out I was on the run and shit. Funny story this is. So me and Cuz riding in Pontiac. Yeah, check it out. Now we're in a fucking, you know, we're in a nice whip. This fam get money. You see what I'm saying? So they pull us over and shit like normal. I get them niggas the fake name. Boom, blah, 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 blah. I'm whoever. You feel what I'm saying? They'll go pull us out, handcuffs us both, put us in different cars, get to searching the car. Now, Cuz got the pistol in the car, but it's registered. You feel what I'm saying? So ain't no big deal. We just know they gonna search the car extra thorough after this. So they find the shit, and I see them over there questioning Cuz. I'm in the car, whatever. They start going through the car. Now, me and Cuz be having all kind of little parties and dumbass shit like that. So when they popped the trunk, these niggas found 2 garbage bags full of money. You feel what I'm saying? But it's all $1 bills, my niggas. So it's funny as fuck. We literally had a stripper party at one of the spots like a couple nights ago. So we had like a couple $1,000 of $1 bills. You feel what I'm saying? So it wasn't no big deal. But what was the slammer on some funny shit, man? They ended up finding some shit they thought was cuts, you know what I mean? Some coke, I guess, some cocaine or some shit. I don't know what that shit is, nothing about it, but I guess that's what they thought it was. You see what I'm saying? So these motherfuckers calling the people and all this shit, man, a whole bunch of funny shit, and they back and forth talking to Cuz while they testing a little shit in the tester, blah, blah, blah. So it come back to be nothing. They letting us go. Now, one of the chicks that's outside and shit, she ended up saying my real government name. So they like, yo, hold on. You know, we thought you were so-and-so. I'm like, yeah, you know, blah, 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 I am. You feel what I'm saying? You know how that goes. Turn me around, put me back in the car. These motherfuckers type in my name. Oh, we see why you ain't say who you was. We sure you know about this war. I just kind of laugh and say, yeah, so I know I'm going to jail. You feel what I'm saying? So my cousin, them outside, they looking bad, you know, like a real nigga though. First thing he say, don't even worry about it, I got you. So, you know, as soon as I touch down, I'll call Cuz so he can tell my moms and them that found, because then nobody really know it's gonna happen because I've been gone for so long. My main thing was I was just worried about somebody throwing some shit on my commissary. You feel what I'm saying? Because made sure my commissary was straight to the motherfucker the whole time I was in there. Shouts out to HD, shouts out to Malaysia, shouts out to mom. Yeah.
You was on the run 17 years.
Yeah, 17 years.
Like,
yeah.
I thought you was finna say, they put me in the car, come to find out the warrant had to reach the statute of limitations or something. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, see, and that's funny, because when I was a young nigga, that's what I was hoping. That's why I left. Because I was hoping that shit was like real or something. That shit fake as fuck. Ain't no statute of limitations on no felony warrants or something. You feel what I'm saying? But long story short, it ended up working out for me anyway, man. Shouts out to the judge on my case for seeing the potential in the human being that I am. And, long story short,
how much time did you end up getting overall?
Man, 67 days and 7 months of probation, man. You gotta hear this story, though. Funny as shit, right? So anyway, I'm in jail, man. You know, I'm sweating thinking they're about to send me to the pen for at least 2. You feel what I'm saying? So the public, you know, they give you like a probation officer or something while you in there. So she coming to talk to me and asking me about, you know, what can I tell her to help my case? Like, hopefully I ain't get in trouble while I was gone and I ain't fucked up and all that kind of shit. You see what I'm saying? And luckily, I'm a real nigga. Like I told her, you know, I'm good at what I do. You know, I ain't catch no cases the whole time I was gone. Nigga, not one. You feel what I'm saying? Like I had some run-ins, but I ain't have a case under my belt for nothing. I actually left, got married. I went to school on some illegal shit. You feel what I'm saying? Got some college credits, all kind of shit. You feel what I'm saying? So they actually looked all of that up, and they had me in there for like 64 days. And while they was looking up some of the information, they found out I worked for, during the case and time that I was married, when I had my son. Like I said, I got my first job maybe in like 2014, 2015-ish, you see what I'm saying? But I worked for Hilton, even though I was, shouts out to Hilton, I'm sorry for putting y'all on blast like this, but you know, even though I was on the run, man, like I worked for Hilton, man, 8-9 years. You see what I'm saying? Like, man, I started out as a night auditor. I was actually a general manager of a Hilton. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, real nigga shit. You feel what I'm saying? So the courts looked all that information up, man. They ended up letting me out on a tether after 64 days. Telling me, you know, they're gonna furthermore dig into my situation, but they put me on tether because I was flight risk. They didn't want me to leave. I had a curfew, 7 o'clock, stupid shit. Long story short, but they ended up calling me in saying they found out everything I was telling them was true. I went on, had a nice life, blah, blah, blah. Didn't fuck up, wasn't getting in no trouble. The judge put me on probation for 2 years, which, you know, I thought at the time was good. But everybody in my family and around me was still like, yo, that's some bullshit. You feel what I'm saying? You need to write some letters to the judge. You a grown man now. You ain't got no trouble in fucking, you know, 15 years, blah, 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 blah. You shouldn't even be on probation. They fucking. Long story short, shouts out to Pontiac courts, man. Shouts out to Oakland County, because they did a real nigga a real solid. They looked furthermore into my case, and they freed me off of my probation, man, 7 months into it, man. So life has been on the go ever since, man. I've been music crazy in the studio. I got over 219 songs cooking and working. I've been promoting and visualizing crazy. I'm on every social site. Like, this is the first time in my life, man, I don't have to have, man. I can actually run out here and be like, yo, this me. What it do? So I'm on it.
Tell us about the music part. What you got out, what you got coming into.
Oh, man. Right now, y'all, I got a bunch of singles streaming all over every social media platform, man. Y'all make sure y'all check it out. MD to Life, same thing y'all see up here. Easily find me. It's only one. And anything after this interview is a copy. Believe me when I tell you that. Look it up on Google, YouTube, Pandora, Apple, Spotify. Your boy fire, man. I've been doing this for a minute. I done rubbed shoulders with the likes of DMX, T.I., Beanie Siegel, Memphis Bleak. Just was fucking texting and fucking Instagramming with Jadakiss literally last night. You feel what I'm saying? So again, man, y'all make sure y'all stay on this. No features needed, man. Everybody that fuck with me is people I've known my life. I ain't running out here jumping on the coattail of no artist. I believe I've been the hottest, and I'm gonna show that I'm the hottest. You feel what I'm saying? And it just is what it is, man. Y'all join this ride with me. Hopefully y'all enjoy it.
You just did a new video, right? Or you just made a new song, right?
Man. I just dropped a new song. It came out last night. It's called 10 Toes Down with My Head Up, man. It's everywhere, streaming on all social platforms. It's on my pages, on that Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, going crazy, Spotify. Everybody make sure y'all check that out. And for me though, if you haven't heard the song Diamonds, My Diamonds Gon' Flirt, check it out, man. It's one of my favorite out of the 20 that's out. I'm releasing music every 7 to 10 days right now. So y'all be watching, man. I'm dropping like no other artist. By the end of this year, like I'm thinking January-ish, I want at least 100 songs out. You gonna know this name.
All right, any artists that you messing with, bro, right now? On the label, your nephews, you know?
Yeah, it's a lot of artists that I deal with here in my inner city and outside of my city. Shouts out to my guy, VVS, Big New Jersey. Shouts out to my man, Buddha, Big California. Shouts out to Big Goonie Grape Street, man. Locked up, murder borough. Free that man. Back here in my hometown, man, I gotta shout out Cuz Driz. Gotta shout out one of my player partners, man. One of the hardest working artists I know other than me, my man, Crisis. Shouts out Lil Cuz, MG. Yeah, yo, the fam is crazy. And again, shouts out Laser, man. The hardest working, most talented female artist I know. And yo, that's gang right there, man. And everybody else is pretty much a bunch of street cats I run with. to just stop in my studio sessions, fam, and I kind of write their bars out. I like their voice. I put them on my songs, man. Like, that's how I get down. You know what I'm saying?
Hey man, this sounds like you lived a very like interesting life. You know what I'm saying? And you came through and you conquered all the bad things. Like that's an amazing feat to be on the run and not get in trouble doing all the goddamn things you was doing. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
So I ain't got
man.
nothing else for you, brother, man. You can close out the show, man. I ain't got nothing else for you. You said enough, but you can close it out.
Hey, man, I appreciate it. You feel what I'm saying? Thank you for having me on, my baby. It was big. Shouts out to Chi-Town. Shouts out to Pontiac. You know what I mean? Everybody, y'all know what it is. Big East Side of the building. MD for life.
Yeah, man. Y'all stay tuned, man, because I'm coming with crazy ass interviews all the time, man. I just want to say I really appreciate you for sliding down on us. Peace.